this whole time, had no money, no food. So, just the sheer inhumanity of it all, I couldn't grasp it. Like, this is a child. The following day, we went to go organize with an organization that was working with women in Natal. And they let us know that aside from the women raising funds in order to migrate here, they were also raising funds for an injection for them not to conceive of the rapes. And for me, that was just so hard to sit with, that for these women, it's not an option. They know they're going to be raped, so they have to take measures in order not to conceive of them. And my mind, it just couldn't. I remember coming back here and hating Berkeley, feeling like, what is the point of me being here? I just didn't see the purpose. The following day, I had a meeting with the national chair of this organization called Affirm, Jolene Levy. And I told her the experience that I can't tell you because it was an hour and a half of us talking. And at the end of it, I was in tears and she was in tears, and she told me, okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a report back. And you can go to the different parts of our chapters. And I'm like, this is great. This is what all the organizations that I work with wanted. They wanted me to come back and not remain silent, to continue to raise awareness of what's going on to our people. And I told her that was great, to just let me think about it, and I'd give her a call back. In thinking and in thinking of my process, I called her the next day and I told her, you know what, Jolene, like, I want to do it. And she told me, great, we're going to have your first report back here in San Francisco and your next one in LA. I'm like, that's perfect. She's like, you don't have to worry about anything. We're going to fly you and your family out. Like, we're going to take care of you guys. And I told her, well, that's not necessary. I decided that I'm going to walk from San Francisco to LA. And then the phone went silent. And I was like, hello? And she's like, you're gonna walk here? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to walk there because you're giving me an opportunity to put these issues on a platform. I need that platform to be bigger. I need for people to really stop and realize the inhumanity that is going on to our communities. I know she didn't believe me. I know she didn't believe me, but on August 16, 2014, after 26 days, and two of the mothers, one of my co-founders and one of the mothers who walked the trail with me, we walked her. We walked for 26 days. And it wasn't just the mothers. We decided as mothers we couldn't leave our children behind. So our children walked with us as well. So we walked for 26 days, over 375 miles from Merced to the U.S.-Mexico border. And what really sparked it for me to not just talk about it, but to do something tangible, to stand in solidarity. We had heard of this article about this young girl named Noemi, and that really was what blew the match for me. Noemi had traveled 6,500 miles from Ecuador, and this was her third time trying to be reunited with her parents in New York. She was detained again this third time, but this time it was going to be different. While in the detention cell, the following morning, the officers came in to check in on Noemi. And Noemi had hung herself from the curtain shower rod in the bathroom. And I just remember thinking, how hopeless like this child must have felt to think like there's no point, like I'm never gonna make it. I'm never going to see my mother and my father. And then the reality like just sunk even worse, to think that she died in the presence of strangers. She died in the presence of no one that loved her. And I couldn't like take it anymore. I had enough. And I decided like what is it going to take? What is it going to take to make walking more than 350 miles tangible? Me and my co-founder, Cindy Gonzalez, we dedicated relentless nights, staying up late, contacting the UFW, other organizers who had done similar walks. Ours was about to be even longer, so we were trying to, get more knowledge from our elders to figure out how can we do this. And I remember when I felt like solidarity, like form, its like purest form was in my daughter. We gave a talk about a trail for humanity, and I was supposed to be done speaking, and she's like, I want to talk, and okay, and she grabs the mic, and she tells them, they ask her like, why are you walking? And she said, I'm walking for humanity. I'm walking because there are children inside those detention centers who look just like me. There are children who are being fed at 5 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon. There are children that are being raped. There are children that are drinking water from the toilets because they don't have any other source. And she said, yeah, basta, we've had enough. And I remember feeling like my 8-year-old aged 20 before my sight. And I'm like, when did this happen? But in each of the cities, something that was important for us to lead in order for the communities to also try and find their own way to learn what solidarity was something I took back from Arizona, which is a Mayan expression, en la King, which means I am another you and you are another me. So to me, we're all a reflection of one another, and as such, we all have to stand with one another in each facet of our struggles, or else we're all going to crumble, and that's just the reality of it all. I'm gonna end because I probably have gone far beyond. But on day 16, we were on mile 240, and we were finishing our last mile that day. And my daughter, because she's my inspiration for everything, really embodied to me, and I'm probably jumping the gun answering where these movements are gonna go next. But she really laid the foundation for me. She asked me, Mommy, will it ever end? Will people ever stop and think of one another first, or the pain that places like this and borders do to each other? And she was referring to, we were in Oxnard, and they were building another detention cell. But this one was special because this one was going to be right next to a train station, so that it would just be that much easier to funnel migrants there. And I remember being exhausted, being dehydrated, and thinking, shit, I better make this good because she's gonna remember this for the rest of her life. Who knows when we're gonna walk 240 miles again. And I paused and I told her that I'm not sure if it's gonna end, but our obligation is not to remain silent until it does, and that's why we're walking. And then she answered, Mommy, when I die, and I'm like, you're 8. I'm like, you're 8. Can we not talk about you dying? She's like, listen to me. She said, when I die, you have to let everyone know that walking with you for this was the most important thing I've ever done in my whole life. And I love you, baby.